I had my first annual checkup yesterday in about 10 years, so it wasn't necessarily annual checkup.
Yeah.
But I did get some devastating news. I'm actually shorter than I thought I was.
Okay, how did this even go down, Nick?
So I go in and you get your height checked and your weight checked. And I did the weight first. I was like, hey, look at me.
Hey, look at the weight.
Yeah, even with all my clothes on, I lost a couple pounds. But then they did where they put the stick on top and they measure your height.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, you're about 5'6" 3/4. I was like, what? 5'6" 3/4? I'm 5'7".
That couldn't possibly be. I'm clearly 5'7".
And the difference between 5'6" and 5'7" for me is devastating.
Why, honey?
Because, I don't know, 5'6", you're like, aw, what a wee little guy.
Yeah.
5'7", you're like, well, that's about average.
That's a fine-looking gentleman right there.
He's not so bad. Yeah, no, but then the fact that I have like a 1/4 inch to grow, so I have to put lifts in my shoes now.
Obviously, yeah. Like, I mean, does the fact that you're 5'6" 3/4 mean anything? You're not 5'6".
I know.
You're 5'6" 3/4, Nick. Give yourself every inch possible.
I know, but I sound like an idiot saying 3/4. Like, you're not 5'7".
But you can't say 5'7" because then you'd be a liar, wouldn't you be, Nick?
No, because I wear shoes. But the good thing is I'm married and I shouldn't have to worry about this. You married a tiny little man.
I married a wee leprechaun of a man.
Nick and Kristen's medical debt payoff was last week. We reached our goal of $15,000. In fact, almost got to $16,000.
Yeah. I heard from Undo Medical Debt. They're the charity partner that we always team up with, and they're the ones that are able to buy the medical debt for pennies on the dollar, and they can buy it in bulk. And Michelle over there emailed me on Friday, and she was like, great campaign. Because of the money that you raised, we're going to be able to buy and forgive $2.17 million in medical debt for around 1,400 people in the Pacific Northwest. Ooh, look at this. Yeah. Woohoo.
That's amazing. Should we let our daughter paint her walls as much as she wants, paint over them and repaint them and paint them again, or should we find another way?
I say it's going to end up being my job to shuffle things around her room, to clean up carpets, tape tarps to the floors, paint over things, making sure she lets it dry. I just think it's all going to fall on me.
She should be able to throw her paint everywhere and realize that if you want to be messy, your stuff's going to get ruined. Natalie from Sherwood, what do you think?
I think that letting your kid draw on the walls is such a powerful parenting move. If you use that paint that you can, I think it's maybe glossy bathroom paint, and you just give them crayons, they can literally draw right on the wall. You can actually then take parchment paper and iron off some of the drawing. At least that's what I've heard.
Oh.
But either way, allowing them to draw on the walls is this incredible freedom. It really lets them know that you value what they're creating. And I don't know, I think it just sets them up to be able to kind of in a healthy way, break the rules as they grow up as adults.
Ooh.
So I definitely support.
Look at me. Someone's agreeing with me, Kristen.
Fine, didn't deal with it. Fine, you win.
All right.
You deal 100% with it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear any complaints about there's paint in my carpet and then when the new carpet needs to be replaced, you're the one making the calls. You're the one getting the estimates. You do everything.
Happy to be a part of our child's whimsy.
Yeah, right.
When did you realize you were lame?
For me, it was yesterday. I'm finishing up school, and we had to give an about me speech.
I hate those.
To the class because we just started our new semester, and everybody share an icebreaker about themselves. I'm listening to my classmates talk about how they just got back from Iceland and they're backpacking across Europe and how they trained with a shaman and can perform Reiki on animals and stuff, or how they go to Burning Man every year. But when it got to me, they're like, what do you like to do, Kristen? And I said, well, my perfect Friday is throwing on my heated shawl and being hunched over my kitchen table doing a puzzle. Or on the rare nights my husband and I get a babysitter, we like to go do escape rooms in the Pacific Northwest. And I could hear the crickets through Zoom.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And I even said it out loud. I was like, wow, did I just seem super lame right now? That was the weirdest thing for me to say. And then everyone passively aggressively is like, no, I love puzzles. They're the best.
Yeah.
When I'm not hiking across the safari, I also like to do puzzles. Chelsea from Oregon City. Okay, if you had 20 seconds to say something about yourself, what would you say?
I actually like to do nighttime photography, and I've really been getting into trying to photograph the aurora.
Well, dang, that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think it's official. You're kind of lame.
God, what's wrong with us? We need to get some cooler hobbies.
I don't know. We're on the radio. Is
I
that
know.
cool?
I should have just said, like, I'm on the radio, but I don't want all these 20-year-olds to be like, what's that? And I'll be like, have to explain that for 30 minutes.